We got an interesting one here. Didn't really expect to see this happen on the day it did happen, and didn't expect to see the details regarding whatever happened. The first trade of the NBA offseason went down between the Chicago Bulls and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And lo and behold, the Alex Caruso sweepstakes are over. The winner has been decided, and it has been the OKC Thunder. They got their Derek White guy. They got their bald defender that could also run point guard.
Yep.
And in return, from the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that has 144 picks in like the next 2 years, didn't get a single one, and instead wound up with the infamous Josh Giddey. A 1-for-1, no picks, no nothing, just player for player, 1-for-1. Something you very rarely see in today's NBA, especially when you're dealing with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Which this trade baffled the fuck out of me. I was not expecting that kind of return. This was just like, I don't know what the Bulls were even trying to do here. It's like how do you fuck up that badly?
I think they see potential in Giddey, and I can't blame them. I do too.
Really?
I see potential in Giddey. I really do.
You're gonna get some
He just
weird
needs
looks.
a new. It's okay. You can look at me however you want. No Diddy. But I just think, he needs a new scenery.
Right.
I think he's done.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But if you're the Bulls, like at least get a pick back.
Yeah.
At least get like a couple seconds. Like
Yeah.
do something.
They were asking for the OG return in the deadline. They got nothing close to that.
Well, at the deadline, your value's highest because your midseason teams are more desperate to try and contend.
Yeah.
OKC could have used Josh Giddey. I don't think they win the title with. I mean,
No.
for Caruso, I don't think they win the title with him. But
No.
I think they definitely get out of the second round
Yeah.
potentially. But I think for me, I know it's like there were so many teams offering so many picks. The Kings offered the number 13 pick for Caruso, and the Bulls said no.
Wow.
Which is just mental. And they want to give Giddey $100 million.
They believe in that.
Yeah.
They do. They think he's got all-star
Yeah.
potential.
Sometimes that's all a player needs is someone to believe in them.
Just the confidence in the
Seriously.
organization.
He is.
That's really what it takes sometimes.
I think if Lonzo doesn't shape up to be healthy, he's running the point for them.
Yeah.
And when he first came into the league on OKC, he was getting weird triple doubles, but he was putting up numbers. He did need the new change of scenery. OKC was not it. And I knew they were going to move him. I just didn't think they would get Caruso as the return because you're bringing in another guy that's going to be Derek White, an OG Anunoby type of player defensively. But I think Caruso is more gifted offensively than OG and White a little bit.
I don't think
I
so.
think OG and White are very, very different types
Yeah.
of players.
I
OG,
think-
I would compare more as to like it's like a smaller Aaron Gordon type
Yeah.
role because you have your someone like Caruso and Drew Holiday and KCP. They're your perimeter point of attack defenders. OG is going to guard the best front court player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one on Kevin Durant, or he's going to be the one guarding Giannis at times, or
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard,
Yep.
stuff like that.
I
They're
think-
definitely not similar.
This is the first piece for OKC. So it's going to be SGA, Caruso in the backcourt. They need a center. Hartenstein's on their radar. We'll see what happens there.
Do they even start Caruso?
They have to. He's
I
your
think
he's
so.
your he's your two.
I don't know if you have to. I think he
So
could
who'd you
be-
start?
No, he's
Well,
your
I'm not
two.
saying you don't start Caruso, but if you roll out Caruso as a sixth man,
I mean, either way, he's going to get minutes.
yeah,
I
either way he's
think
going to get
he's your
minutes.
two.
Because think about it, Derek White was on the bench until
Right.
Porzingis
Yeah.
got hurt. So
We'll see who else starts. If Lou Dort's still gonna start, but we know.
You think Lou Dort starts over Caruso?
it makes more money, so probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
Unless
But,
they both start.
Yeah.
we'll see
crazier
who else they
things.
bring in. If the center, if they bring in another guy trade wise, they have picks. Levine, DeRozan. They could still call you Chicago for DeRozan or Levine.
I don't
It
want.
is looking likely DeRozan just enters free agency.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, DeRozan is a free agent, but yeah, I think
They have the cap space to sign anyone they want.
Yeah.
I think this is the first move for Chicago. I think Caruso was gone. I think now they're gonna move Levine, Vooch. I think Kobe White stays, of
Give
course.
Kobe White the keys.
Kobe White stays. Lonzo, I think that's another toss up. They can't move him. There's no value.
They can.
You just got to see.
They can
what-
easily move Lonzo.
I know, but
For what though?
It really depends.
you
Because
attach him to a Vooch or Levine.
as of right
as a
now,
throw-in.
Yeah.
as of right now, Lonzo's locked under contract. He's projected to start at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
And if the Bulls are blowing it up, there's a fire sale. Why not buy low on Lonzo Ball if you're Sacramento
Yeah.
or if you're New Orleans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even Denver Nuggets.
I think he makes too much money.
Okay.
I think like Denver or Boston, it's too risky. They can really, they're hard capped also.
Okay.
So otherwise Bruce Brown would have returned last year. But I think if you're a team with cap space and you actually are trying to get off of a contract, like even if we didn't make the trade, I'm sure we probably would have flipped Ben for Lonzo. I'm sure that probably was in the realm of possibility. But yeah, I think this trade makes a lot of sense for OKC. I think they just needed that point of attack defender because I do think they're going to wind up losing. Lou Dort will be the casualty in a superstar trade, whether it's for Lauri Markkanen or Kevin Durant or whoever, because he's the main salary piece. Obviously, you're not getting rid of SGA, or Jalen Williams. So I think that kind of protects both of them. Caruso, they're going to have to pay him at the end of next season, which is fine. But I think he's good. He's a good vet. He's an NBA champion. So, and we've seen it. The past two champions have traded for an NBA champion point of attack defender, and they've won. So, I guess we'll see how it plays out. So, that seems to be a trend going. As for Chicago, look, can Giddey turn into a good player? Absolutely. Can he not? Absolutely. But it's unacceptable to not get a first-round pick or at least a couple seconds from OKC. And I think the Bulls front office has shown plenty of times over the past couple of years that they're idiots and they don't know what they're doing.
Wow.
I think they're banking on Giddey becoming that 2 next to Kobe, which is, Tyler says, it can happen.
Bro, imagine saying that sentence out of context. Giddey next to Kobe.
Giddey can be great, but Tyler said he could also just be the same player in Chicago. Would see how he takes Chicago, if he can be a 2, if he wants to run point. He's a really good player. I mean, he just had just
You're talking about
Giddey, yeah. He just
Same thing, really.
They were saying on Twitter that his camp wants $100 million over 5 years when he's a free agent.
Not even his camp. The Bulls want to give him $100 million.
The Bulls, yeah. But he needs to show that next year. He needs to at least drop 20 plus, have his rebounding numbers go back up. Because when he had his first year in OKC, he was all over the court. Yeah. He was rebounding, assisting. He had weird triple double numbers, but he was like a Luka type of player, but not putting up scoring points a lot.
That's because he was young. And let me tell you this: the reason why he dropped off, or the reason why he looks to have been not as good this past year is because SGA is there. It's because the ball's not in his hands. That's when he excels.
Right.
Yeah.
And also,
he's running the floor.
Last year during the play-in tournament, SGA struggled, and Josh Giddey was the best player on the team in those games. But look, I just think SGA is a miles better player.
Oh,
and we
sure.
all can agree on that.
Sure.
I don't think Giddey is as good as we all think he is. I think he's a very average player, and he needs to prove that he's not, essentially. I don't believe in him. I'm glad the Nets didn't trade for him. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see, but I just don't know what the Bulls' direction is. Their future looks insanely bleak. And I'm really not sure what they do from here, because I think to be honest, the Bulls should go into a fire sale. Right? I think you're probably going to lose DeMar for nothing. I think we can all agree on that for the most part.
Yep.
Who knows what happens with Levine? Some days he has value, some days he doesn't. He's constantly injury prone. Vooch will probably get you something, and then just who knows what the rest of the roster. It's not even worth kind of going into. But for OKC, where do you see them finishing in the West this season, and what's their ceiling playoff wise? Before we move on,
I'll say 3.
They're still top 3.
I think they'll probably have a little bit of a drop off.
Okay.
Because they did overachieve this past season. I think Caruso doesn't move the needle that much in the regular season because he also does have his fair share of injuries. I'll probably say maybe anywhere from the 4 to 6 range.
Oh wow!
In the West, and keep in mind the West is stacked.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really difficult. I think you'll get your Denver and Minnesota still kind of up there. Don't know if OKC can keep up again. This is the deepest they've played into the postseason since the Durant days.
If they bring in a center, I think they'll be more than okay. Because they need someone. Because Chet can't be doing everything there.
Right. And that's what'll be exciting about our episode down the line, right before right when the season starts. We're going to predict both conferences top to bottom, our awards and our playoffs, and who we think is going to hoist the Larry O'Brien in 2025. So as of right now, that's where we have OKC finishing. I imagine we have the Bulls finishing probably
out of the playoffs.
I think they'll probably finish right above the Nets.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if they're below them.
I don't know. I think we're going to go full tank mode. So
Yeah.
I think anywhere from 12 to 14 is in range
around
for
there.
Chicago.
Yeah.
So unless the Pistons decide to piston again.